My name is Steve Bolio, and welcome to my classroom here in Northfield, Minnesota. I'm a high school math teacher and have been for the last 5 years here in Northfield. I've taught for 8 years overall, and the previous 3 years I was in Burnsville at a junior high. So I've been a math teacher for the last 8 years. The last 2.5 years I have been enrolled in the Educational Technology program at Boise State University. In this video, I would like to reflect on my experiences in the program and how they have contributed to my professional growth as an educator. Before I reflect on my experiences in the Boise State EdTech program, I just want to mention why I chose educational technology as an area of study for my master's. Over the last 8 years I've taught math, and I've pretty much taught the same way, the same lesson delivery, where you give the students some notes, they'd write the notes down, they'd do examples on the board, you show them how to do the skills that we're doing in math, and then they take the book home and they do some homework, they come back, we have questions the next day, and it's just the same old lesson over and over and over again with some minor differences here and there. And that was kind of the way that I was taught, and I'm sure that was the way my parents were taught, and it's been that way for probably quite some time now. And as a teacher, I want to do all I can to provide the best experience for my students. With the current technology that's available, I knew there was ways I could change the way I deliver my lessons to incorporate technology to make them better. I knew there was a way that I could create videos for my students so that they can access them at any time for extra help. I knew there was many different ways that technology could be used to help my students and become a better educator, and I needed some structure and guidance, and that's what the EdTech program at Boise State provided for me.
Probably the single most influential class that I took in the EdTech program was Dr. Snelson's YouTube for Educators course. I always knew that I really wanted to start making videos for my students. I thought it would be a great way for them to access information on their own whenever they wanted to in a non-threatening environment. Some students are just too shy or scared to ask questions in class, but I know they have questions, so this gives them an opportunity to get some extra help at home or wherever they may be through YouTube. This video right here was actually the first video that I ever created, and it was kind of funny. I had just brought my new camcorder to school, set it up, and started doing what I do every day in the classroom, just in front of a camera. And surprisingly for me, it's up to 981 views. So I hope that it's helping people out, and I'm sure some of my students have gone on, but I know it's not 981. So this also not only helps my students, but anyone who is looking for help with whatever they may be searching for. Another video that I'd like to show would be a video that I created that is meant to help students learn a process on the graphing calculator. And actually I'm teaching this right now, and I'm recommending that my students go on if they didn't quite catch what we did in class, because there's a lot of steps and a lot of detail to the process of doing what we're doing on this calculator. And having the ability to pause, rewind, view multiple times is invaluable. The students, if you're teaching it live in class, you pretty much have one shot if you're not asking questions or stopping and asking the teacher to go back, and a lot of things are missed. So this YouTube for Educators course has opened up a whole new world as far as what I plan to do for the future of my classroom. I just bought a a digital tablet so I can draw on the screen and do some different things in math with that tablet that I can't do because there's a lot of weird fonts and things. But I'm extremely excited to get going and get this get all these materials made now that I'll have some free time after graduating the EdTech program. So thank you to Dr. Snelson for your guidance in this course, and it has been one of the most influential courses that I had at Boise State. Another aspect of the EdTech program I want to take a look at is the online course design EdTech 512. In this course I made an online unit for my Algebra 2 class all on quadratic equations. And if we take a look here at Module 1, this is just to give you a look at what each module looks like. Brief overview of what the students should do, all the objectives, things that they need to complete. Here's a reading that I recommend, as well as videos. This video I made myself, so this is similar to going over examples in class. Every lesson that I teach in face-to-face I do examples for students, and so this is basically the same thing, just embedded in a video. Here there's some great resources in the book. They make great videos, really professionally done by people who really know their math. So I link to each one of those videos, which basically means the students don't have to go log in. They can just click right from my webpage to the video. I found that convenience is very important when working with high school students. If it's not convenient for them, then there's a good chance they might not do it. Here's some assignments that I link to, and if I click on this checkpoint 5.1, this is just a link to a PDF file that is a worksheet I'll have the students complete. And this is kind of like a little homework assignment. Once they complete that, then they can go back, and this video right here is the solutions to all those. So this is a video I created that is basically walks through all the solutions to that checkpoint 5.1 assignment that I assigned to them. So they can do some work and then they can check their answers here with the video. So there's me writing on there. This is my new toy I got this summer, my digital tablet. So section 5.2, this is questions from the book. This would be like the actual assignment that they would submit for grading. And this course is kind of set up, well, it is set up to be a blended course, so there would be a face-to-face element as well as online. The last part to this is a quiz. It's an online quiz site. It's zoho.com, and this site I found is the best I found after looking at several to create your own quizzes. So if we take a look here at this quiz, I wrote these questions, and question 1 multiple choice, 2 multiple choice, question 3. Get down to question 4, 5, and 6. Well, 4 and 5, these are short answer, which this is why I really like this particular website. Is you could write a question and the students have to type in their answer, so it's not just a guessing game, or they have to actually type in their answer. And I thought that was probably one of the most valuable aspects to this particular site. I did run into some trouble with importing some pictures when I was looking at doing some graphing things, but overall I think that this site, it's a pretty valuable resource, and I'll definitely use it in the future. Just certain things might be limiting, and so I might not. But all in all here, this online course design is kind of the way I want to go. It's something that I'm very interested in the future. I I really want to start putting all of my resources, all of my learning materials online, and creating essentially a web page for each section that I teach, so that students, parents, whoever really can access my teaching materials, and it's all organized online. So this course was a big influence on me, and it will definitely impact the way I teach and run my classroom in the future. Last thing I want to talk about is theoretical foundations of educational technology and cognitive load theory. In this course, I studied cognitive load theory and how that would apply to teaching math. And basically, less is more. Keep it simple. You do not want to overload your students with extra material. So when I'm selecting problems from the book, or I'm creating educational materials, whether it be a video or a worksheet or a quiz, I try to keep it as simple as possible, and I do not include any extraneous material. So keeping their cognitive load on their working memory down will help them learn, so that they're not overloaded with extra material that confuses them. Also, when designing multimedia and creating videos and certain learning materials that are of digital format or online, there is a lot of good information that Moreno and Mayer have put out on cognitive load theory and multimedia design, and I had written a bunch of that on a paper for this course, so that was pretty informative and influential, and that's one of the other things that I think about every day as I teach, is just reducing cognitive load. So theoretical foundations, Daji, thank you, and I appreciate everything that you've done. In conclusion, I would like to thank all the faculty in the EdTech program at Boise State. My experiences in this program will no doubt have a positive impact on my profession as an educator and in my classroom for my students. So thank you, and it has been a great 2.5 years. I'm glad it's over, and I'm very excited to start putting into place the things that I've learned in this program. Thanks.